So, me Metamina is again with you with another interesting video. Today we will talk about digestion. So, we will start it without wasting time. Let's start. So, today we will talk about digestion. Digestion is a sequence by which food molecules are broken down and chemically converted and diffuses or used the cell in respiration to provide our body energy. There are two types of digestion. One is physical digestion. Physical digestion. And second is chemical digestion. Physical digestion is, for example, the action taken by teeth. It's a physical digestion. And the chemical digestion is, for example, our enzyme protease that converts to protein. It's a chemical digestion. So we'll discuss the digestion from mouth to anus. In every digestive part, I will tell you what is chemical and physical digestion happening. Where is physical and chemical digestion happening? We will start from mouth. In mouth, the physical digestion is the action by teeth. There are four types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. These cut and chew the food. Incisors cut and canines also sometimes cuts the food, and premolars and molars chew the food. Here is one chemical digestion happening, that is saliva. Saliva softens the food so that it can be chewed easily, and also amylase, mean to say starch, is also digested in food. So, starch is digested by amylase enzymes. Amylase enzymes digest the starch, and teeth chewed the food, and tongue also played an important role. Tongue helps in rolling the food so that it can be chewed easily, and then the part come is our buccal cavity. In buccal cavity there is epiglottis that covers the gas pipe when we are eating or drinking, so that the food or water does not enter in, moves to liver. It goes to our stomach, or it passes to esophagus. What is esophagus? In esophagus, peristalsis movement helps for the movement of food from mouth to the stomach. In what is the part? Esophagus. This is a pipeline that helps us to transfer food from mouth to the stomach. In this part, a process called peristalsis occurs. Peristalsis occurs. Before we talk about peristalsis, I will tell you the structure of esophagus. Esophagus have about 4 to 5 layers. This one layer is called mucus. This one is called submucus, and this one is circular muscles. These are longitudinal muscles, and this is sorus coat. This is mucus coat and submucous coat. What is function of these? The action of longitudinal muscles and circular muscles pushes the food so that it could move downwards. And mucus layer, it is an oily layer. It also helps in the smooth movement of the food, and it also helps prevent the esophagus from acid. The acid that is in stomach, sometimes in heartburn, it moves upward. So mucus layer prevents the esophagus from acid. And the source layer coat is the outer coat that is the covering of esophagus. Now we will talk about peristalsis movement. In peristalsis, two muscles, longitudinal muscles and circular muscles, help in the movement of food. For example, this is a food particle. When one muscle contracts, the other relax. For example, if longitudinal contracts, the circular muscle would relax, and this would produce a bump that would move the food up downwards. Mean it would move towards the stomach. This is called peristalsis movement. In peristalsis movement, two muscles, longitudinal and circular muscles, are involved so that food moves from mouth to the stomach. Now, what happens in stomach when food enters the stomach? What happens in stomach? There is also a stomach, sometimes called muscular bag. It helps in digestion and breakdown of food. In stomach, the stomach release gastric juice. What it release? Gastric juice. This gastric juice helps in the digestion of food and break the large molecules into smaller ones. In stomach, there is also acid that also breaks the food. They mean to say, in muscular bag, all the food particles are broken down and are very minimum. Mean they from large particles they decreases to very tiny particles. When the stomach breaks these particles, the food moves to the small intestine. That is the basic part of the digestive system. There the digestions occur. There the most chemical reactions occur. And in stomach, protein is not digested. Some protein like milk protein are digested because in stomach protease in the enzyme not properly work. No starch is digested because amylase enzyme does not act in acidic system. In stomach there is acid, so the pH is low, so no protease and no amylase enzymes take place. Then when the food is digested in stomach, the food enters duodenum. Duodenum is a part that connects the stomach and small intestine. I can draw here. This is stomach and this is duodenum. It is the part that connects stomach and small intestine. In duodenum, what happens? In duodenum, the fat is broken down. How the fat is broken down? Fat is broken down by the action of bile. What is bile? Bile is a yellowish liquid that helps in digestion of fat. From where the biles come? Biles come from pancreas. For example, here are pancreas. In pancreas, there is a yellowish bag of green color here that release bile. That moves the way of bile to the duodenum. Here the fat is digested or bile helps in digestion of fats. Then all the food particles, the tiny particles that were here of food, enters the small intestine. Here the main actions occur. Here all the food particles, all the useful things are digested and waste material are passed to the large intestine, through the large intestine then to the anus. What happens in small intestine? In small intestine there is a finger-like structure that is called villi that absorbs the useful things and absorb it into the blood. To the blood it is moved to the tissues and then further actions take. What happens in small intestine? In small intestine, the pancreas release the pancreatic juice. In pancreatic juice, there are about many enzymes such as protease, lipase, and so many that helps in digestion of food particles. First of all, how the fat is digested? Fat is by the action of lipase, fat is converted into the glycerol, and it is absorbed by the villi. How and protein is converted to protein is converted to amino acid, and that is digested by the villi and then absorbed into the hepatic portal vein. What is hepatic portal vein? That connects the small intestine with the liver. That connects the small, for example, this is the hepatic portal vein. The name of vein is hepatic portal vein. This is a path through which the usual things are taken to the liver, where those are stored and absorbed into the blood for further action. When the food particles are, for example, these are villi. Villi are well adapted to absorb the useful food particles because they have large surface area, so that easily the particles can be diffused into the hepatic portal vein and move to liver. The protein is converted to amino acid and brought to our liver, and the sugar particles, carbohydrates, are also absorbed by this and brought to the liver, then absorbed into our blood, and then to the tissues for respiration. These are the actions that are occurring in small intestine. Then the food particles that are waste, that are of no use, that are moved to the large intestine. And from a large intestine, the minerals sometimes are absorbed into our blood. Then by us to again it is pumped or pushed out of the body. So this was the end of the class. For more videos, subscribe my channel. I will be again with you sooner, inshallah.